Well guys, welcome back to ImWateringPSUs. New studio, new logo on the wall, and today I'm gonna show you how to build the absolute best 800 euros gaming PC on the market right now. And right now the market is really bad for PC flippers, for PC resellers, for shops, but it's the best it's ever been for anyone that wants to build a gaming PC. Prices are extremely cheap. The only thing you have to do is shop wisely and don't buy the RTX 4060 Ti or 4060, which are complete trash, and just get an RTX 3070 and a properly matched build, and you will get the best gaming experience ever. So let's get started with the build. Well, again, as I have anticipated you guys, the core of this build is gonna be this Founders Edition RTX 3070, which I paid 250 euros for, and you can in general get one for under 300 euros easily. Again, euros price are 1-to-1 convertible to dollars. Now, we are pairing that with an i7 12700KF. So this is going to be a very high-end build. Generally, you don't need this CPU. You can get an i5 13400F, which is easier to buy, and you can buy it new. I bought this one used for 200 bucks. They're easy to get. Now, motherboards, they are pretty expensive, but today we have the start of the show. This B660M ITX from Huananzhi. Now, Huananzhi is a brand you might not have heard of, and they make those very cheap, affordable motherboards, which are full of unique features. Now, I actually have a dedicated video speaking about their cheaper version motherboard, which costs around 60 bucks. This one costs 100, but it is a B660 chipset, and it comes in full white, and it's ITX. We'll talk about it more later when I open it up. But in short, this thing comes with a very special BIOS, which allows you to put 12 and 13 gen CPUs without needing to update the BIOS ever, and supports DDR4 in 2 slots. So you can buy cheap DDR4, which is what we have here today. I bought this Trident Z Neo kit, 3600 MHz, CL18 RAM, for just 50 bucks. DDR4 RAM is cheap. I bought this one because it was pretty, but you can buy just generic RAM. RAM doesn't matter. Speaking of cheap, you know what's even cheaper? NVMe SSDs. There is no need to buy a SATA SSD or a hard drive. I bought this 1 terabyte drive for 40 bucks on Amazon, so everyone can buy it, and it's great value. Then, to cool it, we're using this iTek 240mm all-in-one cooler, which, well, in short, it's good value for money, it's cheap, and it performs well. I have worked with iTek in the past. They have not sent me this. This was bought. However, it's very good performance, and it comes in white as well, in case you want to make an all-white build. Today's build is going to be pretty much all-white. If you go with a K-series 12th gen CPU, you will need an all-in-one cooler. Well, you need a good air cooler or an all-in-one cooler, but you will need a good cooler. So we got this one, but we are replacing the fans on this one, and we are putting all up here fans in the case as well. Now, these fans are extremely good looking and they perform pretty well, but let's not spoil too much of the build. You will see them later. The only component to go inside the case that's left is probably what you will be critiquing me for, which is this Aerocool Lux power supply. Now, this thing is cheap. You can buy it used for around 30 bucks, and you might be saying, hey, but isn't that too cheap for an i7 and 3070? Well, actually not. Because this thing is a 750 watts 80 plus bronze unit, but if you read on the back label, it's actually rated just for 690 watts, right? So the trick here is to do the proper calculation. So how are you supposed to use this? So you see the 700 watts number, 690, right? Then you take peak efficiency, which is at 60%. So in this case, it's roughly 400 watts. And it's exactly what these components will be drawing under full load. How do I know how much they will be drawing? Experience, but you can measure them from the wall with a watt meter to be sure. All of this is going to be inside the Noua Fobia L111. Now, this is a micro ATX case, full white, extremely good looking and extremely affordable. Now, I have been using Noua cases for the longest time here in Italy. They are the best value to buy if you are building a PC that you want to look good and to perform well. Now, they are small, they don't have some of the premium features out there, but they look as well as a premium case, and again, extremely cheap, tempered glass, good material, love them. So with all this said, I say we get building, and let's start by putting the CPU on the motherboard, RAM on the motherboard, NVMe, and all-in-one cooler. Let's go. Okay, let's get started. let's apply this iTek thermal paste. And now, if you guys follow me, you know these CPUs are not exactly square, so I like to put it in a bit of a line instead of a dot. I find that it really helps. Now I put a bit too much, but it's not gonna be an issue. So there we go. Okay, so it's now time to slap the motherboard in, and yes, we're using an ITX board into a micro ITX case, but in my opinion, it's gonna look very nice regardless, so right there. Okay, so here we are with the PC finished, and I really think it looks stunning. Aesthetic wise, obviously a ton of it is thanks to the Noua Fobia L111 case, which is absolutely gorgeous. It has side mounts for the fans as well. We left those one alone, but we populated all the rest of the slots, even the all-in-one ones, with these AsiaHorse fan that I showed you, and they look absolutely stunning. They have a ton of light effects. Now I have them just going through all the cycle of effects, and I think they look insanely good, honestly, for the price especially. But not only that, we added those AsiaHorse sleeved extension to the Aerocool Lux power supply, and I think they really do add up with the looks of the PC, because on the white, having those white and purple extension really does help a lot. And remember guys, aesthetic is really important with computers. But obviously, it's not the most important thing. Most important thing is performance, noise levels, overall usability of the computer. So let's go over these. Now I've run my usual suite of tests. You know, I do CPU-Z, hardware monitor, RAM 95, and 5-Strike. So let's talk about them. So CPU-Z, extremely impressive. Those 12th gen Intel CPUs, together with 13th gen, they're just so much faster than everything that came before. And it does 800 points in single thread, extremely high, and over 9,000 on multi-thread. So it's really good. Now, 5-Strike wise, we did, again, a really impressive score. You see it on the screen right now. This will allow you to play easily 1080p, any kind of game. So for example, if you are looking to play Apex Legends competitively, you can aim closer to the 200 Hz target. For Warzone, we're looking at 144 Hz target. For more single player games like Cyberpunk, like Diablo 4, like all these new games that are coming out, it's very easy to just max them out 1080p and play them easily. But you can even step things up a bit, and no, the 8GB of VRAM of this RTX 3070 are not going to be an issue. This thing performs much better than the RTX 4060 Ti 16GB, even at higher resolutions, guys. Don't buy these new RTX 4000 GPUs, guys. They're really bad value for money. They're good on the new side, but with the used side, you can't really compete. This thing is so much better. That's how it is for the gaming sides, but temperature-wise, this i7 does run pretty hot. So while the GPU, well, hotspot side does run pretty well, again, I do recommend to do a full repaste and repad. I have a full tutorial here on how to do that, and you can also undervolt the whole thing with the tutorials I have to increase performance a bit and reduce temperature and power consumption dramatically. Without undervolting, the i7-12700KF runs pretty hot. So this one was going at around 80 degrees under full load, and if we run Prime 95 maxed out, it was going to a 100 degrees. However, this is also because of how we set the fans. So we want the PC to be very quiet, but you can change that and make the PC a bit more noisy and lower your temperature a bit. But these CPUs are designed to be running a bit hot. It's just how they are. And it's not going to be an issue in the long term. They're not going to be damaged in any way. So overall, I'm really happy about the pairing. I'm really happy about how it came. And I think it's ready to be upgraded in the future to get a much faster PC with very cheap money. As you can see, the Noua case, which I really love, by the way, I can definitely recommend, has a ton of GPU space. So tomorrow, if the person who gets this PC wants to make an upgrade, you can just take the GPU out and put like a 4070 Ti and get like a 40% performance upgrade for very cheap, while keeping the same case, same specs, and the i7 is not going to be a bottleneck at all. So I'm very happy about it. Do let me know if you like it for the price point, or do let me know if you would have changed anything. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.